Good day everyone, I'm Zairine Trix Gallamos from GAS 1118.
I'm CJB Prion from Gas 11108.
Hi everyone, my name is Benedict Sumagaysay from GAS 1118.
Lengua para Diablo, The Devil Ate My Words by Merlin the Bobbies. I suspected that my father sold his tongue to the devil. He had little say in our house whenever he felt like disagreeing with my mother. He murmured, "The devil ate my words." This meant he forgot what he was about to say, and mother was often appeased. There was more need for appeasement after he lost his job. The devil ate his words. The devil ate his capacity for words. The devil ate his tongue, but perhaps only after prior negotiation with its owner. What with mothers always complaining, I'm already taking a peek at hell. When it got too hot and stuffy in our tiny house, she seemed to sweat more that summer, and miserably she made it sound like father's fault. So we cajoled her with kisses and promises of an electric fan, bigger windows, a bigger house, but she pushed him away, saying, "Get off me, I'm hot. This hellish life." Again, he was ready to pledge relief, but something in my mother's eyes made him mutter only the usual excuse, "The devil ate my words," before he shut his mouth. Then he ran to the tap to get her more water. Lengua para Diablo. Tongue for the devil, surely he sold his tongue in exchange for those promises to my mother. Comfort, a full stomach, life without a wretch want. But the devil never delivered his side of the bargain. The devil was alien to want. He lived in a Spanish house and owned several stores in the city. This 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 Spanish mestizo was my father's employer, but only for a very short while. He sacked him and our neighbor, Tio Anding, also a mason, after he found a cheaper hand for the extension of his house. We never knew the devil's name. Father was incapable of speaking it. More so after he came home and sat in the darkest corner of the house, and started at his sons. It took him 2 days of silence staring before he told my mother about his fate. I wondered how the devil ate my father's tongue. Perhaps he cooked it in mushroom sauce, in that special Spanish way that they do ox tongue. First, it was scrupulously clean. Rub with salt and vinegar, blanch in boiling water, then scrape off its white coating. Now imagine words scrape off the tongue, and even taste our capacity for pleasure. In all those 2 days of silent staring, fa- father hardly ate. He said he had lost his taste for food. He was not hungry. Junior and Nilo were more than happy to demolish his share of gruel with fish sauce. Now after the true clean, the tank was pricked with a fork to allow the flavors of all spices and condiments to penetrate the flesh. Then it was browned in olive oil. How I wish we could pick my father's tongue back to speech and even anger. But of course we couldn't, because it had disappeared. It had been served on the devil's platter with garlic, onion, tomatoes, bay leaf, clove, peppercorns, soy sauce, even sherry, butter, and grated Edam cheese. With that aroma of something rich and foreign, his silent tongue was already luxuriating in multitude of essences, tempered into a piquant delight. Perhaps next he should sell his esophagus than his stomach. I would if I had the chance to be the pampered, to know for once what I would never taste. I would be soaked, steamed, sauté, basted, baked, boiled, fried, and fed with the only perfect seasonings. I will become an epicure on a rich man's plate. I will be initiated to flavors of only that finest quality in his stomach. I will be inducted to secrets. I will be the inside girl, and I could tell you that the true nature of stated affluence.
Lengua para Diablo is an excerpt from the book Banana Heart Summer Banana Heart Summer is written by Merlinda Bobbis. Merlinda Bobbis is an acclaimed Filipino-Australian writer and performer who has published in 3 languages. Her novels, short story, and poetry collections and plays have received various awards including the Prix Italia, the Stilly Rood Award for the Best Published Collection of Australian Short Stories, the Australian Writer Guild Award, the Lan Reed Radio Drama Prize, and the 3 national awards in the Philippines, the Carlos Palanca Literary Award, the Balagtas Award, the Philippine National Book Award. She has been listed for the Age Poetry Book Award, the Australian Literature Society Gold Medal. Bobbis has performed in Australia, Philippines, US, Spain, France, and China. She teaches creative writing at the University of Wollongong. Her most recent publication is the novel Fisherwoman. About the creative process, she always says, writing is like a grace. The greatest gift is the comfort, if not the joy of transformation. In an inspired moment, we almost believe that the anguish can be made bearable, injustice can be overturned because they can be named.
And sadly the tradition has died. It is called the Tigsikan, and really I rack my brains for a translation. I think the word is untranslatable. Anyway, the Tigsikan, as I said, is an oral tradition in the Philippines, and it pans out like a verbal jousts of two or more contenders. And it is an extemporaneous game of one-upmanship. So the contenders try to outdo each other in their poetry, their poetic style and flair, and also in their ideas. What do I mean? Okay, the poems are in quatrains, 4-liners. So let's say one poet would recite 4 lines extemporaneously, and then the next person will recite his or her own piece, also extemporaneously, to outdo the previous poet's style or flair, or it's another thing, to actually argue a point made by the previous poet. So in effect, they're having a verbal joust, and it can just go on and spin up into all sorts of places and metaphors. I'll read the poems first in Bicol, which is my dialect, because I come from the Bicol region in the Philippines. So I'll read it in the Bicol dialect first, translate it into English. Okay, here is the first tiksik. Tiniksik ko ining burak, pulang-pula sa buon, kompleto sa sadiri, ang mundo kauyon. Okay, here's the English translation, which I think is a very poor translation. I don't think one can ever completely translate another language. You can just, or a poem from another language, you can only approximate the spirit of the poem. So here is a translation. I tiksik this flower, very red on the stem, complete in itself, at peace with the world. A male poet might hear that and stand up and say, answer, here is the dialect, the tiksik in the dialect. Tiniksik ko ining kalibangbang, ang asul niyang pakpak, sa burak nagtutun. Ay, nakakua ang pula, hikahuro. Here's a translation. I tiksik this butterfly, his blue wings alight on the flower. I, the red, found someone to talk to. The nature of the syntax of my Bicol dialect allows it to allows the line to be smoother and allows the rhyming scheme, of course. Another point is when you say in the dialect, nakakuha ang pula kikahuron, you just have 2 words there. But if you translate it into English, someone to talk to, it is so, it is so tedious, so many words. So that's what I mean. I tried my best to translate the tiksik into English, but it doesn't quite get there in terms of rhythm and the play of words, and also, but of course, you're able to translate the meaning, you're able to approximate the spirit of the piece.
Lengo Par Diablo means the devil ate my words. Lengua is a Spanish word meaning tongue, which in the story symbolized the words eaten by the devil. Lengua, beef tongue, is also a dish made of cow's tongue. In our culture, father is considered the haligi ng tahanan. They are the face of the family. The father reflects what kind of family you are into. They are the role models of the family. What if a father loses he's able to speak for himself?
Lingua Parabula, the story shows how poverty and employment affect the situation of the family. Poverty and employment is the one problem that facing the Philippines right now. Yes, today, many individuals figures in this situation. Many families have their conflict that result into broken family because they didn't co-op up dealing in this situation. The story picture out the situation among family having a father who has no job. It shows the hardship of coping, dealing poverty in our society. We suffered rapid growth with unemployment. Some Filipino difficult finding a job either they are graduated. So they gone so they go to sacrifice themselves to go in abroad to earn money to sustain the need of their family. Comparing the situation in the story and reality considering the characteristics of man or the father from the past up to today, we can conclude that they are not one who easily let go their pride. They are being described as strong as hard work also, defined as provider, but some situation in the family. If fathers suffer a lot of problems like money, lack of job, and employment, mostly father cannot concentrate and they neglect their family. And instead of giving him comfort, she always blaming him and downing him. Also, children can do that. They can say that their father is worthless. Yes, it happened today in our society. As a father is really hurt that blame themselves. They think negative to their life that can cause of negative result also. This situation is also existent as of today and versus as time passes by. It really harmed the life of individuals as we can see nowadays. People suffer from the great pain due to what they experience. Unemployment and poverty also. Economic problem this will challenge to government and leaders. I hope they make solution for this problem because I can see that Filipinos suffers this place. They cannot sustain their basic needs. Many Filipinos do not can make a solution for this problem because I can see that many Filipinos suffer this. They cannot sustain their basic needs. Many Filipinos do not have permanent house, no food to eat and no clothes. In the story of Nengo Fabiola, it feels pity for him because he cannot explain why he lost his job. I felt angry also to attitude of his wife. She is being considerate and she supposed to understand and tell how to better. But instead she helped me better. She letting him feel useless. She drowning him letting their children hear their problem. She is being selfish what she thinks are things she want big window. I found a big house. The wife should not pull a blame of his husband. She must help him to find solution to their problem. This situation also experienced some family today. Thankful because I didn't experience what the young girl experienced. I realized that family is more than anything. Love family for more anything. For me, Lengua Prabulo tell us about the life of man during this new society. That having a change in nature of work, that woman now work for the family, and father is being enclosed house for the family, just like switching a place between for me it true. Today, because some father accept the role of house, the mother is more easily to pick a job for the family. Lengua Parabula is the story behind the different phases of individual in the Philippine society. It is about the father who tried abolition and highlight the man who is unemployment and his power to run the family. Consideration of characteristics of men past up to today. We can conclude that they are not one who easily to let go their pride. They are being described as strong and hard work and also defined a provider. But then, in this story, it is total opposite. Unemployment were not treated properly and their capability expressed themselves. He somehow grabs away despite rapid economic growth in the Philippines in recent years. Unemployment remained a persistent problem found in Southeast Asian nation for more than 100 million people. Unemployment is one of the major economic problems. People who aren't considered employment are those who are seeking work or lay off more than weak. Unemployment is a serious problem that our government faces. Our leaders are trying their utmost best to solve it wisely. I hope that will mark the end of employment and I will also pray for the goodness of our country. The story Lengua Parabula is about the father that employment and is said that he did not contribute to his family. The father until that time I was guilty for not being able to fulfill his duty as a father in his family. In that moment, he felt he was nothing in that house, can speak comfortably and pride. It is happening in the Philippines today. Yes, it is still happening. For me, I think it's because of lack of education. Education is the most important thing in life because I can remove the forgotten. Food can food can be disguised, but the education cannot be removed and will remain in yourself forever. Any job that will apply requires education. Lengua is a Spanish word meaning tongue, which is story symbolizes the word eaten by devil Banana Heart Summer. Banana Heart Summer is written by Merinda Bobis. Merinda Bobis is an acclaimed Filipino-Australian writer and performer who has published in three languages. Her novel, her novel, short story, poetry collection, and play received various awards. Evidence in our culture, father is considered na haligi ng tahanan. They are not face the family. The father reflect what kind of family are into. They are role models of the family. What if father losses is able to speak himself and story to show how? Symbolize the word eaten by devil Banana Heart Summer. Banana Heart Summer is written by Merinda Bobis. Bobis is a acclaimed Filipino and proverb who is published in languages. They are a role model of the family. What if fatherless is able to speak for himself? The story shows how employment and poverty greatly affect the situation of the family, particularly if the father is one of the employment. The father is a story lost his pride and ability to speak for himself. He lost it all due to the reason for that he has no work and no longer can support and contribute in the family. Financially, he has no more confidence to share his own view and appointment, looked down by his own children.
The author only wanted to deliver the message that there are still Filipinos are still facing problems. Some families are struggling in life. The excerpt successfully delivered its message about the situation of families here in our country. The text is interesting. The other techniques caused me to engage while reading, and I recommend this text to be read by the teen students. The symbol is important in the poem because it helps us to comprehend deeply and it also widens our understanding. Some of the symbols means like the golden spear of scale. For example, it serves as the emblem of evaluating and weighting the testimony with equality for both parties. Another example is the double-edged sword that serves as the warrior who strikes or breaks the wall of lies to show the truth. These symbols are only the branches or part of the whole which is the symbol of justice. Our Lady Justicia, this symbol add to the meaning of the poem by capturing and enhancing the implied message that the author wants to convey to the readers.